Gamecast from MSN.
Hello, dear listener. Welcome to another MSN Gamecast. My name's Ian Lee. I have Nick here. Hello, Nick.
Hello there.
I have Verity there.
Hi.
We have to be quick because you two need to get home or something. Is this true?
We're busy people, you know. Time is money.
We have come in and they said, first of all, you've got me in half an hour earlier, which is like totally messed up my very busy schedule today. And then you said, we've really got to hurry up because and I said it was some important thing. It's because you have to get home.
There is a pesky thing called the iPhone 5 launch tonight, or 4S, and we have to be at home so we can get there, so we can cover it as it's happening.
Go home and cover it.
Otherwise, I'm going to be in this office till about 11 o'clock, and then I've got to get home, which is an hour away. Nick's an hour and a half away. We'll be getting it on midnight.
Our listeners will know this because this is what date is this today? I've got literally no idea.
4th of October.
The 4th of October.
Yeah.
So at 6 o'clock this evening, Apple are going to make an announcement. You, the listener, will know whether it is the exciting Apple iPhone 5 announcement or the disappointing 4GS thing. Do we have any indicator either way?
4S. I am predicting. There's been ideas that there's going to be two.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's very Apple.
No.
To announce two, a cheaper one and a more expensive one. But either way, I had
two. Excuse me.
And bless you.
Wow, that was a loud sneeze, isn't it?
I've had people.
That's a first. That's an internet first. Flag that up. I don't think a sneeze has ever been recorded on a podcast before. So,
no, certainly not one that loud.
Get MSN to do a banner, and this really is going to drive our listenership up. So you think it's going to be the 4?
Well, the 4S, because there's been some geek has gone really deep into a beta of iTunes and seen some sort of reference to an iPhone 4S, black and white.
I'm totally out of contract because when the 4 came out, I was like, whoa, I'm holding off on this because I know how Apple work. At some point, they're going to bring out 5. So I'm going to let my contract roll out instead of getting another 18 months, 2 years. And now I'm out of contract, so I can go wherever I want.
Oh, that's exciting.
Wherever I want. So as soon as that 5, bam, I'm in there.
Well, somebody went to me, because I said something about the iPhone 5, and they were like, don't you mean the 4S? I was like, but it's still the 5th iPhone, whichever way you look at it.
Well, you can't, but if it's a 4S, you can't call it a 5, Verity.
Well, I don't know. Who knows what it's called at the minute? Who knows? Exactly.
But so if it is a 4S and they call it a 5, I'm stupid enough to fall for that.
Wouldn't they be the 6th iPhone? Because we had a 3S.
No, because it started off on 2G, didn't it? That was the first one. 2G, 3G, 3GS, 4.
The iPhone. Oh, right, I see. Right.
You were totally roiced there by Verity. Yeah, she owned you. You were buoyed.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's irrelevant because the people listening it's like us in 1960 predicting that in the year 2011 we'll all have robot butlers and flying cars, and the people will be at home listening to this going, what are they talking about? Idiots. Anyway, nice to have you on board, dear listener. Kind of too much to get through today, so we may even have to jettison some of the stuff. Well, Verity, you've not been here for a while. Where the hell have you been?
I've been... Well, last time I was
playing basketball
watching some Olympic basketball with Panasonic doing some sort of that. What was I doing before? Oh, I don't know. I wasn't here.
Okay, well, to let you join our gang again, have you been playing any games?
Not since you guys have last done a podcast, really. I've been doing bits and bobs, but I've been away loads weekends. That's my prime gaming time.
And you keep losing all your consoles.
Well, yeah, I did lose my 3DS.
How? Where?
Oh,
this is
so
awful.
Annoying.
Yeah.
So I went to IFA, which is a technology trade show in Berlin, and I was flying. I'm not going to say the airline, but I was flying a good airline.
Yeah.
And anyway, so they said, we're coming down to land, take off all your headphones and put your electronics away. So I was playing the 3DS, put it under my leg because I couldn't bother to put it in my bag.
No, you can't bother.
Anyway, all of a sudden, people started getting off a lot quicker when we landed, obviously.
Yeah.
Getting off a lot quicker than I expected. So I was like, got my bag together, got off, got to the hotel, and I was like, oh no, I've left it on the seat. So anyway, it's just caused just a nightmare. Turns out that it was held at Berlin. It was handed in. I got through to Berlin, lost property, but unfortunately only once I'd returned to the UK. They said, we've got it here, not a problem. We'll pop it on the next flight, and you'll have your number, and when it gets there, the staff will give you a call and tell you where to pick it up from.
See, that's awesome service. They're going to send it on a flight. Yeah.
Perfect. Absolutely brilliant. So about 3 days later, I hadn't heard anything, so I called Berlin back. Yep, it went on this flight at this time. So I called Heathrow, and I was sent all over the place. And anyway, it's just disappeared.
Oh, nuts!
So eventually I went through to claim claims department like you would if you lost your baggage. They said, "Oh, I don't think you can claim for that."
Of course you can claim for it.
Well, I think so. It was found, and you've now lost it.
Yeah.
So yes, they are going to replace my 3DS. Is what it comes down to.
Wow, there we go. Well done.
So ultimately, it's a happy ending. But what is a terrible ending?
It's the best story ever.
What is the worst bit of it all was, you may remember a fair while ago I was talking about a game called Ghost Trick.
Yes.
So I got about 13, 14 levels in of the 18 or 19 levels, and I kind of put it down and didn't get to play it. So when I was going away, I thought, it's a good opportunity to pick it back up, finish off those last 5, 6 levels. So I did about 3 or 4 on the plane.
Yeah.
So I had about 2 levels to go. Gone.
You've lost all your saves.
So what am I going to do? I'm either going to have to just... and I knew there was a massive twist in the story coming.
Yeah.
I'm either never going to know, I'm going to have to look at it, or I'm going to have to play it all the way through again. And I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do then.
Well, you've been listening to MSN Gamecast. Join us next month for more.
There you go. I tried to make it as short as possible.
It was very... It's good to have you back.
Thanks.
You don't want to get on the wrong side of Verity either.
No,
Sorry, we can't replace that. I bet you kicked off a right storm.
No, you have no idea.
Well, Nick and I have been quite busy. While you've been jetting off to Berlin
okay.
and things, we've been quite busy. We went to Eurogamer,
Yes.
Earls Court. There is a kind of 10, 15-minute podcast out of
There
us
certainly is.
there live in the VIP lounge. We weren't, messing around too much, which kind of relates to our thoughts on what we saw there. But we should address some of the things we saw and some of the things that kind of happened afterwards. One of the things that we didn't get to play when we were there was the new Batman game, because there was a huge queue. We're not used to queuing,
I don't queue.
We don't queue. Anyway, Nick naffed off, and I kind of went off to see a friend who was there, and the Batman people grabbed me, and they said, "Oh, Ian, we saw you queuing. We're going to get you in, but then you went, so come and have a go on the new Batman." Didn't really want to have a go because I had a bit of a headache. I had to go off somewhere else anyway, but I didn't want to be rude, so I was playing Batman for 10 minutes, sweating quite a lot because I wasn't very well, and then kind of had to sneak off because I had to go somewhere.
What did you think?
Of
Batman.
Oh, yeah, it was good. You start off as the Catwoman.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Did you start off as the Catwoman?
Yeah, she is. Even in the computer game, she is fit, man. This is the question for you, dear listener. Has there ever been a sexier villain? No. Has there ever been a sexier video game character than the Catwoman? No. She's she's fitter than the Halle Berry Catwoman.
Really?
She's fitter than Eartha Kitt. She's
not based on a real actress, is she? This is entirely...
She's based on
If
the Catwoman.
so, Ian wants to find out who.
Yeah.
She's based on the Catwoman.
Yeah, good enough.
I don't think she's based on a real actress. She was fine. You start off as her, and it's the same. It's the same thing. You kind of go around, you're doing all your fancy moves and all of that, and then you beat these people up, and then she goes off somewhere, and then Batman appears, and then you're Batman, and you've got to rescue Cat. And it's brilliant. What can I say?
I'm
looking forward to playing it.
Yeah.
I've not. We've had a couple of previews up on the site, haven't we? But they've not. They've all been freelancers, haven't they?
They have, yeah. They keep doing previews when we're
can't,
already
we
off
can't.
doing other stuff, and we haven't been able to go, which is really annoying. And I did really want to go and look at it, but like you say, we had to queue, and we'd managed to skip all the other queues.
We would have had to have queued, Verity, for a whole 15 minutes.
That is terrible.
And we just thought, no, this is not what it is.
Not like when I was at TGS and the queue for Connect, which hadn't come out yet, was like 4 hours long. 4.5 hours long or something stupid.
Yeah,
and the people were just queuing for it.
But Batman looks awesome. It's the same old.
Yeah.
It looks wicked. I'll have some of that. Please, thank you very much.
Nice.
The main thing that whetted our appetites at the Eurogamer was the OnLive thing, which we've kind of talked about before, and it's been talked about for ages. Nick, can you kind of explain what it is? Because I waffle a bit.
OnLive is cloud-based gaming, which means that you can play all of the best games as if they're on a high-spec PC, but without having any of the hardware in your own home. All you need is either the free app for your PC, or this tiny little console, which is about the size of your hand, which you plug into the back of your telly, and then into your Ethernet connection for the web.
And these consoles, I think, 70, 80 quid. I think it's 70.
Now I wish I'd come.
Well, they were giving them away free to everyone.
That's
pretty cool.
That is very cool.
It's a good deal.
We jumped that queue. I kind of did this thing. I've only ever done it once before. I said it was an American. I said, I don't want to be rude, but I don't queue. Sorry, sir, you're going to have to join the back of the queue there. I said, well, Everybody in this room knows who I am. I'm quite a big star over here. Oh, sir, if you stay there, I'm sure we can sort something. And he did. He came and got us the boxes.
That is amazing.
It did. But so they were giving it away free, which is incredible.
Yeah.
But I've not got mine to work. Now, I naively assumed, because it was 2011, it would be Wi-Fi. And that I'm getting, without boring you, I'm getting a lot of work done at my house. I'm spending a lot of time at my in-laws' house in Windsor. They're not so computer savvy there. Turned it all on, had a night to myself there. It's not Wi-Fi. You've got to plug it in, and they haven't got a phone socket near the TV, so I couldn't do it. So I've not had a go yet. But normally when things don't work first time round, I dismiss them instantly as being rubbish and a load of old tat. But I really want this to work. I really, really want this to work, because this could be the future. It could be. You've got it to work, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and I've been genuinely impressed with it as well. We did have a quick go at the expo, didn't we?
Yep.
And I think we said in our brief podcast that we did from there that though we enjoyed it, the graphics looked a little bit standard def and a little bit fuzzy. It turns out they must have just been running it through rubbish TVs, which is a bizarre idea. But plug it in at home, and it's mint HD quality sound and pictures.
Right.
The quality is outstanding.
Yeah.
Considering it's all coming straight down from the internet. There's no lag at all. I've been playing Borderlands on it, and it's just really snappy. It looks beautiful. It plays perfectly. It might as well just be plugged into the console underneath the telly. So I'm genuinely impressed with it.
It's got a great interface. It's that weird thing of you can see all of the games that are happening around the world.
The other people
you
are
can
playing,
see them. It's
That's
amazing. And you can kind of pick a game and go, oh, look, someone is playing, I don't know, whatever it is they're playing. What was it, the game they had on when we were there that we had to go on? I can't remember. Anyway, so you can see that they're playing that. You can go and have a little look, and you can chat to the person that's playing it. And
So can you just watch them playing it and not? Can you just watch them?
You can just go and watch them.
And it's strangely addictive that you can just zoom into this screen, watch someone playing for a bit, come back out, and there's this big bank of screens in front of you again.
That's
Pick another
really
one,
cool.
and just watch all of these different games going on.
How many sort of games are? I'm guessing loads of games.
There's a strong selection there. The one thing you can say about it at the moment is they don't have all of the latest releases.
Yeah.
A lot of their catalogue is about a year old, so you've got stuff like Arkham Asylum, Just Cause 2, games like that. But then they've got more recent stuff like Deus Ex, Human Revolution.
Deus Ex, that was what we were playing.
And are you looking at the same sort of prices, or?
Yeah, this
was my one complaint was you're looking at 35 quid for a game, and I always think I like the physical copy. I like having the box and the instructions and the disc, and it's fine having it, stored somewhere and not getting a physical thing. But I think for 35 quid, is perhaps a little bit cheeky. If you're not getting something that you can hold. And yes, you can take this box and you can go anywhere around the world with it. If there's a decent enough internet, you can plug it in and it's your game and you can play it. But I think maybe the
not
price
like you can trade it in afterwards, is it?
There's no trade-in.
Well, this is the thing, they're gradually trying to kill that off, aren't they? Even the box sales in shops, they now come with these codes, so you can't play the online element if you bought a second-hand copy. And it just seems they're chipping away at the...
I did an award ceremony in Birmingham a couple of weeks ago there was a Game Fest.
Oh, yeah.
Which was the thing. And I didn't go to the actual game thing, but the night before, they had an award ceremony for Game and Game Station, to the biggest shops. And they were giving out awards for, best trading policy and stuff like that. And I was kind of chatting to some of the people there and saying, how do you feel about the way trading's going? And they were devastated because a lot of their business is done on trade, and they're saying that it's kind of terrible what these major companies are doing in killing the trade off business, because it's good for places like Game and Game Station. That's how they get a lot of their work and a lot of their customers in. But also it's good for gamers to be able to trade gaming. If you've paid 35 quid, 40 quid for a game, and you finish it in a week, a couple of months, 6 months, you want to get some kind of comeback on that, even if it's only like 5, 6, 7 quid. You want to be able to get something back on it, and it does seem terrible.
What happens if you play it and you don't particularly like it? You should be able to. You should be able to trade it in.
Again, I was making many jokes about Duke Nukem that night. They all went down hilariously. But okay, so the trading thing isn't there. Game's a little bit pricey, I think. But I don't know. Go to the Facebook page, facebook.com MSN Gamecast, and am I being a little bit oversensitive?
I guess you're saying that you can get a free app for your PC, so that you don't have to fork out for the hardware.
You don't have to.
No.
No.
So you're saving
product. There's a package deal that you can sign up for, and that's
looks good.
A monthly charge.
$6.99 a month. I think.
That was it. Yeah, and that gives you access to about 100 games for just £7 a month. That's pretty good. They're older games, but
also you get 30 minutes on nearly any game free.
Yeah,
don't you get the first 30 minutes? It's not like a demo. It's the first 30 minutes from the game starting up. You get so you've got 30 minutes to go. Yeah, I think that's worth forking out for. Or
that's
actually,
not bad.
that's a load of old tosh.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That is really good. And there's loads of like indie games you get for free, and kind of smaller games and things like that. So I'm going to definitely have a look at it for next time.
That sounds really cool.
It does sound awesome, and I was reading a brilliant review of it the other day, which is kind of I want this to work.
Yeah, but you do need a good internet connection.
Yeah.
The guy was saying to us, it's got to be really about 5 meg that you're actually getting in order to get the optimum experience from this. It will run on lower connections, but not as well. So if you've got a really fast, nippy connection, then
What was interesting was. We said, how's it doing in the States? So I think they've had it in the States for about a year. He said, it's going really, really well, really taking off. I said, how many units have you sold? We don't like to discuss those figures. And I thought that was odd, because if they'd sold like 2 million, he'd go, well, we sold 2 million.
Everybody wants to talk about it when the numbers are impressive.
Well, if you've sold like 20, you go, well, I don't really want to talk about it. So, I don't know. If you've used it, we have a Facebook page, the listener, facebook.com, MSN Gamecast, is that right?
That's right, /MSN Gamecast.
/MSN Gamecast. If you have played on live, or let us know what you think. Go on there, post on there, and we kind of respond to stuff, and we talk about it in the next one. We've got some of your points from the Facebook page we'll talk about a little bit later on. What else did we see in the Eurogame?
We saw the PlayStation Vita.
See, I wish I hadn't volunteered to stay in the office and man the ship.
It was good. It was a really good show, actually. There was some really good stuff on. And because we got there Thursday morning, we missed a lot of the queues. And we
You blagged some, let's be honest.
There was a guy there, the guy in charge of the PlayStation, the PS Vita. I'd really offended once by doing a terribly ill-conceived report on Watchdog about how PlayStation 3s are rubbish. It was awful. And as I was doing this gig, we stood outside Sony with these PlayStations that are broken and fixing them and going, well, Sony, what do you reckon to this? And as I was doing it, I was thinking, this is really
silly.
I'm never going to get another free thing from them. And I haven't had another free thing from Sony. And it was awful. But this guy who was running it was kind of the one that I'd really peed off with the thing. And I had to go and say, really sorry about that. And we've made there's kind of an unholy alliance now. We've sort of made peace.
It seemed to go all right.
It seemed to go all right, but I just know he was firing off emails afterwards. Who let him in? For God's sakes! No, it seemed to go well. But the Vita looks amazing, doesn't it?
It looks stunning, yeah.
What game were we playing on? The Uncharted?
We played Uncharted, yeah.
It looked amazing, Verity. It was incredible.
Oh, thanks.
But we both we had this young lad.
How amazing was it?
Well, it was incredible. But we had this young lad who sent me an email. He sent me a link to some of his music.
Oh, the guy with the tunes.
Yeah. I'm not listened. Not really my thing. But me and Nick both held this Vita and went, "Oh, this is really light," and it was light as a feather. And he went, "Yeah, they've taken some of the hardware out of it. It'll be heavier when it comes out." So that was a shame. But it looked amazing. Big screen, great graphics, wonderful. I thought.
Yeah, the graphics are pretty much comparable to PlayStation 3 in terms of quality. The thing is just covered in different ways to control it, isn't it? It's incredible. Finally, you've got dual thumbsticks.
Yeah.
And that actually feels really odd on a handheld.
Yeah.
I thought I would just take to it straight away because I'm used to it from home gaming. But when you've got a handheld, you expect to just have one. I kept forgetting that I had this other one on my right hand. But then you've got those touch-sensitive rear panels as well, and you can use those to get around. I don't think they were operational in the Uncharted game that we played, but
you can use it to climb ropes or something by stroking it or something like
that. Yeah, that sounded weird.
Yeah,
that sounds very odd.
I've heard you can use them as like braking and accelerating on driving games.
Oh, you can use them on Wipeout, I think. Yeah,
nice.
You can set it to be used on Wipeout.
Yeah,
I saw Wipeout playing on the one next to us.
Oh yeah,
it looked amazing.
Yeah.
You know, we're truly living in the future. I think it's very exciting. Not coming out till next year, I think.
No, unless you live in Japan.
Oh man,
get over to Japan.
When's it coming out?
Mid-December, then you can pick one up.
Should we take a trip?
Let's do it.
Let's get. Will this lot pay for a jolly over
Yeah,
there?
I think so.
Yeah, we'll just record the December podcast out there. That'll do.
So that was good. Call of Duty. Did we play Call of Duty?
We did play a little bit of multiplayer.
We promised 15 minutes. After about 6 minutes. All right, lads. Okay, move on. Next group coming through. Whoa, where's the 15 minutes?
It was rapid, wasn't it? Actually?
Very rapid.
Yeah. Although we did, we managed to skip the queue on that one, so we couldn't complain too much.
Oh, that's true. We skipped that queue as well. Yes.
What did you think to it?
It was the same. The same. You know, we played one kind of cooperative level where you got waves of baddies coming at you. You know, if you love that stuff, which nearly everyone does, you'll love this. We didn't get a chance to kind of delve into the game to see if there's anything too new to it. It looked great, sounded great, controls were great.
Yeah,
more of the same.
There was nothing single player on show. It was just this multiplayer section. But yeah, it looks beautiful. Everything's sharpened up, tightened up, and it's some new gameplay to multiplayer mode as well with this co-op side of it.
Yeah.
But the big battle for it is Battlefield 3.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
You know, that's Battlefield 3 is out before Modern Warfare 3. And this time, I think it looks like it's going to take quite a chunk out of Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah.
There was a huge queue for Battlefield 3 there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
People were really into it.
We didn't queue. We don't queue. What was the other game we played that we couldn't? We were playing a multiplayer game, but we couldn't. We were waiting for the baddies.
It was Uncharted.
It was Uncharted.
On the PS3.
We were like playing like four of us, and me and Nick just couldn't see any of the bad guys. And after 5 minutes, I went, "Shall we go? Because this isn't happening." And I was getting motion sick, so we kind of left it.
Yeah, that was another game they only had the multiplayer on show, and I really wanted to see a bit of single player on that. So I'm genuinely really excited about Uncharted 3. But yeah, it was just multiplayer, and it was this kind of like team deathmatch thing going on. But they seem to have forgotten to put the other team in.
There was nothing going on.
That's great.
So we just got up and left it.
Yeah, we did a bit of running around, a bit of climbing.
But it was a brilliant show. There was the people from Replay who do the retro game thing that's happening, I think November the 5th and 6th up in Blackpool, that I might be doing something at, but I'm not sure yet because I might be busy that weekend. They had a really big kind of retro stand there.
There's some great stuff back there, some really proper old school.
Oh, it was
machines,
awesome, man.
It was,
and also like things like GameCube, and you forget that GameCube is retro now, and it looks.
I've still got a GameCube.
I love a GameCube, man. It's such a good console.
Yeah.
Such a good console.
My dog chewed the side of it a bit, but it's still going.
The dog. It's
Both-
still going. Oh, we played Skyrim.
We did play Skyrim,
And that was brilliant.
Don't tell me you played Skyrim. You're excited about Skyrim, aren't you?
Verity, genuinely jealous. You didn't tell me.
You didn't tell me you played Skyrim.
Played Skyrim. Oh, I mentioned that. Saving that with another girl. Didn't tell me you went out with her. Skyrim, I see. Oh, we're so geeky.
No, it was great though. Skyrim. It's stunning looking. Isn't it? It really is. As soon as you come out, once again, as you always do in Elder Scrolls games, you start in a cave and you come out and you see this huge landscape in front of you. Yeah. And it looks incredible, and you get that feeling of wow, I can just go anywhere in this game.
Yeah, Skyrim is the one I'm pretty sure is, if you see it in the distance, you can walk to it and you can explore it. It's that big. It's
you
massive.
can do fire from your hands, Verity.
Really?
I was doing fire from my hands.
I was just like innocent travellers.
I was getting the what's it kicked out of me though, because I just go up to blokes and they go, "Oh hi, how are you?" And I go, "Quick, get him, lads!" And then suddenly loads of people beat me with a stick.
Yeah,
or a sword.
You were picking on these guys with like the best armour in the entire game as well, and enormous swords.
I was feeling it. I really thought I could take them. You claimed to have not killed a giant.
I did.
You didn't kill him. You got the killing blow, but you only did one blow. It was the other people that were there that did.
It's the final blow that counts. I think you're fine. You saw me do it, you know. You can't.
I did see you do it. The thing I find about these things, and you've been to these kind of dudes as well, Verity, is it's great playing the games, but there's always like an 18-year-old boy standing over your shoulder going, "Well, if
I hate, that's the worst bit.
Do this. Well, let me just play it. Go away and let me just play it." And you know,
that's the worst bit I found about these ones. Is what like TGS was like that massively as well, and then they were often Japanese, and so they were trying to tell me stuff, and I was. Oh, I don't know what you're trying to tell me.
Some good freebies. We went in, right, and this really hot girl in hot pants and like combat hot pants and stuff came up to us. She gave us like a little toy tank. I went,
Oh, you showed me.
oh, that's nice, like a little toy tank, that's wicked. And then half an hour later, we got the American dude giving us an on-live box. We went, yeah, you can forget your tank, that's rubbish. But this is one of the things that we mentioned, and someone has mentioned this, was it on Twitter that they replied to this? I don't get, and they're called booth babes, are they?
They are called booth babes.
was unaware of that.
Yeah.
I'm nearly 40 now, and these girls are normally sort of like 18, 19, 20-year-old out-of-work actresses. They're all beautiful, they've got amazing legs, amazing bodies. It makes me feel quite uncomfortable them being there. You know, I don't quite... I mean, I know what they're there for. They're there to get, you know, the geeks in and they can see a real lady for perhaps the first time in their life. It isn't their mum.
Or Lara Croft.
Oh, Laura, exactly. And it makes me feel very, very uncomfortable. Because I don't want to look like a dirty old man, but I'm literally old enough to be their dad now. I can't believe I can say that legitimately and mean it. And it makes me feel... You're a lady, aren't you, Verity?
I am.
How does it make you feel, genuinely?
Oh, I don't mind it.
You don't mind?
Well, no, I think it's sort of probably all right for girls. I can see where you're coming from, but I think the majority of people that go to places like Eurogame Expo will appreciate them. And when I was at TGS, I was walking around getting all the pictures as we put together a Booth Babes album, I believe.
We did, indeed.
And
Nick's face. There's a reason I'm hesitating asking him, because I know I'll just go, yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love it. I love them. Yeah, what is your problem? I love them. Do you love them?
Pretty much. I don't have a problem with
fine.
Booth Babes. It's a bit of glamour, isn't it? You know. And, what's wrong with that?
Fine, not a problem.
Yeah.
It's the one. The Japanese trade shows that I find at the game shows that are a little bit. They're usually dressed in the schoolgirl outfits, and it's all a little bit...
They always look so bored as well, the Japanese girls. All in all, though, thoroughly enjoyable.
Yeah.
Huge range of stuff.
Yep.
I've got no idea what it was like on Saturday. I'm assuming Saturday, 2 o'clock, it would have been
manic.
Heaving.
Yeah.
Heaving. But otherwise, I thought it was brilliant. You know, really good.
That's a great show, definitely.
Yeah.
If you missed it this year, then look out for it next year, because it's got...
It's just getting bigger, isn't it, as
over
well?
The next 2 or 3 months. Yeah,
It's just getting bigger every year.
Well, I think this
yeah.
is probably the first year that it's kind of been able to go, do you know what, we're not quite up there with the other things around the world, but it can
Big
stand on
thing
its
for
own.
the UK, for sure. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah, because that on live thing was a big deal for them, because it launched there basically.
Yeah.
And,
On the same day, wasn't it?
Yeah. And so that's that's the start of them being able to get those really big exclusives, I think.
Good work, team. Well done for organising that. Very quickly, I want to say I
cool.
did host. I think I mentioned this before. I was hosting this Video Game Heroes thing at the Royal Festival Hall. I got a posh gig, right? Royal Festival Hall, the London Philharmonic Orchestra, right? And there's like 100, there's about 80 in the orchestra and 20, 30-piece choir. And they were playing video game music all night.
How awesome.
It was incredible. So they're doing like, your Call of Duty. What else were they doing? I should have brought the set list with me. The set list was amazing.
We play some Zelda music. Is this not what?
That's a different thing.
Oh, it's a
They
different thing.
did. What's the game where you're in space and you can be gay?
Mass Effect.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I can remember about it.
Get it from that.
They did some music from that. But more excitingly, they did the Tetris theme, an orchestra playing the Tetris theme.
That's quality.
The Mario
Did you get
Brothers
Russian
theme.
dancers coming out?
They didn't, but it was brilliant. And Angry Birds. They played Angry Birds. It was brilliant. Nice. It was almost sold out. I had to go out and kind of introduce it and talk about video games, and I made a few jokes and got a few laughs and stuff like that. And it was, but just to hear all of this stuff played by an orchestra was incredible. They're going to bring an album out, Video Game Heroes. I'm not sure when it's coming out. I think it may be coming out in November.
Just in time for Christmas.
Just in time for Christmas. But I can't recommend it enough. And it was lovely to have. It was kind of, it was my people there. It was a room full of geeks, and they were getting all of the references when Angry Birds kind of came in. You could just hear them laughing, and it was a real validation, I think. Of I met one of the composers again. His name escapes me. The guy that did the music for James Bond Bloodstone, and they played a bit from that. And I said to him, the music's great. Shame about the game. He went, yeah, I know. But it was just, I wish I could remember his name. It was a real validation of kind of how far, video games have come, and they're now perceived as, a little bit pretentious, but they're now perceived as art, and the respect that they're given. And to have the London Philharmonic Orchestra, which is one of the best orchestras in the world, that have the word London in the title, playing the music was just awesome. I thoroughly recommend that when the album comes out. I think it's going to be on download, and if it sells enough, they might bring out a physical copy as well. So
Cool.
We should preview it on the Gamecast.
I'll see if I can get some copies, and we'll have a
little listen.
Yeah, we'll have a little listen. We can do music and stuff. That'll be wicked. So well done, everyone who came to that. That was awesome. What else have we got? Oh, Verity, Angry Birds.
Well, yeah. Look at a kind of smooth transition from Angry Birds music to
There we go.
Angry Birds.
We don't really do smooth transitions here. If it happens, it's purely by chance.
Also very skillful editing.
There was some sort of survey or some stats that found out that 200 million minutes of Angry Birds are played per day across the world.
Wow. I can believe it, because everyone's doing it.
I've missed 2 trains because of Angry Birds.
Really?
Sat at the platform, facing my phone,
Yeah.
and missed a train.
I've got a joke for that. I bet you were an angry bird.
Hey!
Thanks very much. Thank you. A little bit sexist, but
We can run with that.
I think you can run with that.
So that's a lot of hours per year anyway. And there's been a bit of...
Go on, say that number.
866,666,607 hours per year.
Nice.
Well done.
If 5% of those hours...
Yeah.
This is somebody who's done the work, not me.
Good.
I'm not going to try and claim that I've done this. 5% of those hours are Americans playing at work, which is, could be 5%. It's a fairly small number.
That sounds reasonable.
That's 43.3 million.
That's a much easier way of doing it.
On the clock hours of Angry Birds per year, multiplied by the hourly pay of America's smartphone owners, estimated to be about $35 an hour.
Yeah.
That's $1.5 billion of wages lost due to Angry Birds.
That's incredible.
Discuss.
Well, if they were to make Angry Birds illegal, then that would go some way to reducing the American deficit.
Well,
surely,
there we go.
Wouldn't it?
Well, it's a lot of money, isn't it?
It is a lot of money. Do you know
That's
what?
per year, 1.5 billion.
I like Angry Birds, but then you get to a level that's a bit too hard, and I kind of go.
Yeah, I've got a bit like that.
I've
to
not
be honest.
downloaded any of the other ones,
No,
like
I
Christmas
haven't.
or Easter or Rio or whatever they
Rio.
are.
I did download Rio, actually.
Did you? Nick?
Yeah,
Tell us
slightly
about
better
it.
graphics. That's about the
Very
only difference,
colourful.
really. Well, it's got a few characters from an animated movie in it, but
Yes.
but yeah, it's a time passer, isn't it? And
Yeah.
I think then you move on to the next thing. I moved on to Cut the Rope. That was my favourite.
Oh, Cut the Rope's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's I know I prefer that because I find that more. It's more of a clear idea of how you need to pass through the level to get the maximum amount of stars. Angry Birds feels a bit random.
Yeah.
Right. Whether you get 1 star or 3 stars.
Yeah, sometimes I
feels
think
a
I've
bit-
definitely got 3 stars. I've got like 1 or 2. Rubbish.
Yeah, but-
What about Fruit Ninja? That's a good one.
Oh, I've not played Fruit Ninja.
Fruit Ninja is brilliant, and it's now on Connect, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah. You sound like an advert.
And it's now on Connect. Fruit gets thrown up in the air, and you have to slice through. Obviously, it starts off quite easy, but then there's like loads of fruit being thrown up in the air, and you have to slice through it, and before it drops, slice through it all as quickly as possible with as little. Oh, I can't really explain it.
If you could see her fingers and what they're doing, look, Nick's going to show us.
Have you got it?
That's going to work on a podcast, Nick. You playing the game? Why haven't we
Have you
thought of this
got it?
before?
I have, yeah.
Ah.
Well, no, I have a cheap copy.
Wow.
'cause,
What have you
You're
got?
listening to the MSN Gamecast as Nick rifles through his smartphone to try and find a cheap copy of, what was it, Spangle Buster? What was it? What was it called?
Fruit
and
Ninja.
Nut. Fruit Ninja.
Fruit Ninja.
Fruit and nut.
No,
gone.
the fruit throws up in the air, and you've got to basically,
She's
ninja it.
she's using her finger
Like,
again. Karate chops.
yeah.
Yep.
Basically, do it with your finger.
Okay.
And now with Connect, you can do it on
You
a
can do
bigger
it.
screen.
Yeah.
I thought it was on this, not.
So we just wasted 40 seconds of valuable MSN Gamecast time
It's good
for you
though.
just to check your texts.
Pretty much. I thought it might help.
Very exciting news. We'll do this. Very, very exciting news. And this is in the very early stages. And I think we've kind of almost got an exclusive on this. This may have been leaked out somewhere else, but I think we could be the first people to announce this. That Facebook are teaming up with Panasonic.
That's right. Yeah.
To start. Will you tell us about this, Nick? They're going to do a new console or something. Is this?
Yeah, well, yeah. Facebook wants a piece of every pie.
Yeah.
It seems. So now they're getting into gaming as well. Panasonic are building the hardware for it, which I don't know.
What was the last console they did?
It was dreadful, wasn't it?
It was kind of dreadful. I can't think what it was. It wasn't a Jaguar. That was something else. It'll come to me. Okay, go on.
Something else, but anyway, yeah, Panasonic are going to make the hardware. Apparently, this is all at concept stage at the moment, as far as we understand it. And Yeah, there's going to be they're basically pinning it around Farmville, because it's been so successful on Facebook that it's going to launch on this Facebook Panasonic console.
The thing is, the Facebook have got so much money behind them, and they are kind of just one of the, probably the biggest company in the world. This can't go wrong, can it? This can't go wrong.
Well, you wouldn't have thought so, would you? I mean,
so many gamers on playing things like Farmville on Facebook. It's
Mafia Wars.
Wars.
And they have how many users? About 700 million
over
people using Facebook.
Surely, this if they get this right and they pitch this at the right people, this could blow PlayStation and Xbox out of the water. You would think.
Well, it's all about social gaming these days, isn't
it?
So Facebook have been the people leading that from
and also,
the start.
you've seen the changes that Xbox have made online in particular, more so than PlayStation, with having, your Facebook, having all of your things available in that Xbox. I'm assuming this will do that and then some. It's going to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
Well, you've heard it here first. When we hear any more of that, we will let you know. People have been posting on the Facebook page. Listen, let's be honest. We've only got 196 likers. What the flipping hell is going on there, for God's sake?
You know how many of you are downloading this? So get on there and like it.
300. So the other 104 of you, what are you doing? Get on there. Facebook.com/MSN Gamecast. For goodness sakes. I know
it's laziness.
They think they're too clever. Oh, we don't do Facebook. Just do Facebook, for God's sakes. And it's nothing to do with the fact that we each get £1 for every new person that likes us. So what have they been saying on there? Let's have a look. People have been having their own little conversations. Look, Paul Kavanagh, are any of you guys Metroid fans? He says, I played Super Metroid on the SNES. Oh, Verity.
Carry on.
Okay, thank you. Back in 1994, and have recently finished Metroid Prime 3 Corruption and Metroid Other M on the Wii. Bought Prime Trilogy and I'm halfway through Metroid Prime. Metroid is superb. It always gets to a point where it gets a little bit too complicated for me, and I think, I can't do this. But I love Metroid. It's superb. Always good fun.
Well, I like the other comment that Paul Kavanagh made about, did you ever play the Sentinel? And if we're talking old school games, then that is a classic.
What was Sentinel? I remember it.
Sentinel was this vaguely bonkers concept where you just put into the middle of this landscape, kind of 3D landscape in an old 80s style, so lots of geometric areas, and all you had to do was avoid the gaze of this statue that was up on the highest part of the map.
Okay, yeah.
And so it would gradually turn around, and you had to make your way around the map and get to the end without him spotting you.
Yeah.
And that's all I remember of it, because I haven't played it since the 80s, and this makes me want to go back and play it again. But I remember it being amazing. The best thing about it was there were 10,000 levels, and whichever one you went to was random as you moved on, so you never knew.
Well, Michael Burke has responded on Facebook. I never owned a Commodore 64, which I think is where this game was. I'll get it for my phone and play it. 3 hours later, Michael Burke is back. Downloaded it, tried playing it. I don't understand how to get past the title screen. I've left it. Well, there we go. He's, fair play, he had a go. I'm going to have a look. If that's on the iPhone, then I'm going to have a little bit of that. Yeah. That could be quite good fun. Look, someone's saying, Nick Tobert is saying, Passing Breeze. We're talking about Outrun, and the music from Outrun. It's just some of the greatest.
Did they play that?
They didn't play Outrun. No, they didn't, which is a shame. Yeah, okay. What else have we got on the Facebook page?
Well, remember I was telling you, I don't think I was here, when we were talking about Space Invaders the movie.
Yes.
This was a couple of podcasts ago.
Yeah.
And I think you guys announced the winner when I wasn't here.
Yes, we did.
This is the one that I was saying, such a shame it came in after Joseph Kramer. He said he wrote this while he was...
One who you think looks like a child genius?
Yes.
Okay.
He
That's not an insult.
He does look like a child.
I'd love to look like a child genius.
He does. Anyway... He followed it by saying, I wrote this while listening to the last podcast before you said that there was already a winner. Never mind. But listen to this. This film takes place from the viewpoint of one of the aliens, following the journey he is on, mainly sideways, occasionally down. The alien, voiced by Jack Nicholson, is thrown into a world he doesn't understand, with instructions he can do nothing but follow. Who is shooting at him? Who is controlling him? What is that flying saucer even doing? All these questions and more will be answered. Michael Caine plays Defence Bunker 1.
I'm in!
Brilliant!
When it goes straight to video, I will be out there renting it from my local grocery shop.
Fantastic, though.
Robert Harrington mentioned something, and I had a little look at this earlier on. Could you give a shout-out to NHL94online.com, right? And I looked at that. It is amazing, right?
Really?
It is. You can play online. It's a Mega Drive and SNES game. It's NHL 94. Very specific game they've gone for. And they have like huge tournaments. And there's a whole ranking and a league table, and you get teams. And it's not my, I never really liked NHL games. It's never my cup of tea. But the dedication and the work that has gone into making it, NHL94online.com. Have a look. It's got to be respected for doing that. If there are any other, there was a website where they'd made an online multiplayer version of Jet Set Willy. Where
nice.
a dozen people could play Jet Set Willy at the same time. Any more of those kind of sort of retro games that have been converted for online play, let us know, because I'm a huge fan of that, and I will definitely have a piece of that pie.
Someone put up an image, actually, it was Paul Kavanagh again, put up an image of the security code thing from Jet Set Willy on the Facebook page as well, which brought back a lot of memories looking at that with all those random little coloured bits.
A friend of mine tried to copy that. But like by hand, so he drew a grid, and he had like coloured pens, and he would like the green A1 is the green and A2, and he would do that. I think it drove him insane. Yeah, I think he's dead now as a direct result of that.
That is serious dedication.
Before the kids listening to this now will go, but why didn't they photocopy it? We didn't have colour photocopy in those days. It didn't exist.
We don't have cameras though.
Yeah, but you'd have a camera, you'd have to take a picture, then you'd send it off, and then like a month later it would come back and you go, oh, it was too dark.
Yeah,
I can't see it.
Or they'd keep it and arrest you for trying to break Jet Set Willy.
Anything else before we send you to home for your work?
I'm just checking.
Rob Mason.
Apparently you need a shave.
Yeah, I do need a shave. The reason, can I just say, the reason I've dressed like a tramp today, and I have dressed like a tramp, I need a haircut and a shave. We've got builders in, haven't got any hot water, haven't got any mirrors, haven't got any clean clothes. Rob Mason says games, pizza and pants.
Was that in response to anything?
Don't think so.
That was my description of the last podcast.
Yep.
When I put it out.
When you're not here, Verity, we do it in our pants.
In your pants?
Yeah.
Oh.
And we get pizza in. It's great.
Oh.
Do go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/MSN Gamecast. You can get us on iTunes if you just type in Gamecast, I'm guessing, or MSN, something like that.
Yep, go look for
you can
Gamecast.
get us on the MSN. Whereabouts are we on the MSN page?
We're on
these
MSN
days?
Games.
Okay.
So go to games.uk.msn.com.
You can follow me on Twitter at Iain Lee, IAINLEE, Nick.
Yeah, I'm MSN Tech Nick.
And that's Nick with a K.
That's right, yes.
MSN Tech Verity.
And with the YouTube more than me, but I kind of retweet yours. You can give heads up to trailers and clips that you've got on the website and stuff that's exclusive to MSN, and it's all pretty groovy.
Yeah.
That's your lot. Mention stuff on the Facebook page you want us to talk about next time, and maybe we'll read out your name. Ta-ta.
Bye now.
Bye.
Gamecast from MSN.